Howdy all y'all, it's time for cake. Haven't had too many changes going on over here, although I see that I tried to grow a candle tree over here. I don't believe that'll work particularly well. But one of the things I've been doing, let's see, for starters, we now have half a bucket, 500 millibuckets of lava in this crucible. And I'm going to need another 2 cobble to go in there. So now we got, you can see it's converting cobblestone into lava. And once that's done, there will be a full bucket of lava in there. And for the time being, I'm going to put this cobblestone away. Now I've been working over here trying to sort out my thing. I want to use the clay to make sure that I get stuff, I want to make sure that I don't have any place here that I could get lava pouring out onto my place and set every dang thing on fire. So what I'm going to be doing then is I want to go over here and I'm trying to make up my mind if I need to make this one stack higher or not. Technically I don't. I'm just not convinced, you see, that technicalities are how I ought to be thinking about it. So what we're doing here is a 2-channel thing. And ideally, the lava is going to be in there. And coming down over here is going to be our water. Actually on both sides, so the idea being that the water flows down, that falls into here, the lava comes straight down, and this is the spot where the rubber hits the road, as it were. I'm going to see if I can't reclaim this little piece right here. Nope. Sometimes they jump right up into your arms, other times not so much. Okay, so the other thing we got to do here, let's see. That's the problem. That's why I have to do it that way. Okay, yep, I'm going to have to do this the hard way. In which case I may as well try to reclaim this piece here. Now this may or may not jump up at me. Nope. Okay. My life sucks. I'm not worthy, apparently. Okay, so lava's going to be here. And that means that this puppy needs to come down. And this puppy needs to come down. They're going to go there and there. And what's going to happen here, let's see, that's the starting lava altitude. What's going to be happening here, that's where our water is going to be. Oh, that's convenient. Let's see, water's there, comes down to here. This is the plan, as it were. And I'm going to need to put a candle up here just so stuff don't start spawning. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So, our lava block goes right here and drops straight down. And we're going to need to put a little bit more containment here. And the water will come through these two channels, hit the lava right about here, and drop down right about there. So I'm going to want myself a little bit more containment. I think I want to do this using fencing if I can. Let's see if I can make that work. Optimally. Okay, I could put that in as a gate right there. Let's see. One more thing. Water will fall down there. Our cobble should end up here and here. In theory. Okay, let me get a gate. See if I remember how to get a gate. Yeah, I do. Okay. See, optimally, we just sit right here and we hammer there, hammer there, hammer there, hammer there. I put that in the wrong place, didn't I? Yep. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay, so that'll come in there, water will come down there. Yeah, it ought to work. It's a lovely theory. Okay, I'm going to start up the waterworks here. Okie doke. And the cobble will drop right down in here, or sorry, the lava will drop right down in here. And that ought to do it. Oh yeah, that's not going to work. Yep. I hope, okay, those might catch fire. Okay. And I'm going to put that there so I can seal off the lava. And what I'm going to use to seal off the lava is I'm going to use my Crucible here so I can heat more stuff in it. But first, I got to empty it. You can see there I got 1,000 millibuckets of lava. I have a clay bucket here. Well, a clay bucket will only work one time with lava, then it cracks. So there's our lava. Here we go, here we go. Boom. Okay, that sounds good. Maybe. I'm going to break this. Go down here. And there's our cobble, right where it belongs. Okay, that's a little problematic. I think using fence here was a bad idea. Okay. What I really need to do, I suppose, is that there, or I can just put the barrel back there that was there before. That ought to work. Let's try that on. Yeah, it'll do. It'll do. Okay. Improvements can wait. And there's our Crucible. And I'm going to hop up here. I am burning an awful lot of jump energy. And let me put the other piece of clay up so I got something to brace against. Oops. There. And okay, hopefully I just got that other piece back, and I'm going to put my first 4 cobble in here to make into more lava. Because, man, when can you ever have too much lava? Yeah, I don't know that I like that. It'll have to do. I need to eat something. Fortunately, I got my potatoes going here. Not much, but it's a beginning. And unlike the fried silkworms or apples, these are one ham hock each. So that's much better overall. And I can just use the watering can. The watering can has a 3x3 area effect. In fact, I can step back a bit. What you got to be careful not to do, though, is you got to be careful not to actually go on a crop. Well, actually, okay, I guess you can once it's got a crop in it. When these crops are empty, you can't use a watering can on them. It just does not work. I'm not quite sure why that is, but there it is. You end up beating on it like you're trying to delete it or something. Okay, there we go. So honestly, I need to get some more dirt going, get some farming going, get some more trees going, and just all in all, you know, we need to start building up this place a little bit. I mean, it's a heck of a start, and things are going pretty well. But the truth is that given how little the trees are dropping saplings, I got to get myself as quickly as I can up to the point where, wait a minute, are those weeds? No, they're not. Okay, I was a little worried. I was a little concerned. You can get weeds in these things. And if you get weeds in these things, they'll even spread to neighboring crops, and stuff will just all go to hell. Okay, come on. The weeds are bright green, and the potatoes are bright green, so they all look kind of the same. And because I'm doing it this way, I don't need to have the water right next to it that I would normally have in order to make workable cropland. Why is that being so reluctant? Oh, I'm in an ocean biome. Well, that should affect both of them equally. Alright, we got another tree up. I'm just going to get myself one more potato here so that I've got enough to put in the oven. And then I'll leave it alone for a little while. Because as we can see, it's kind of like the watched pot effect. The more you watch it, the slower it is to boil. Yeah, I gotta move those away from the dang lava cobble generator. Okay, so now earlier you might have noticed, oh, that's a little dangerous. I'm going to take this down because I do not want the cobble generator to make set it on fire, you know. Alright, that should be enough space. What I was going to say, earlier you might have noticed that when I was using the hammer in order to break cobble down, it makes stuff jump toward you. And that is not the case with the pick. So I'm going to make one more cobble with the pick, and I'm going to use that to make a hammer. Whoops. See, that went right into the lava. There we go. Now with the hammer, that won't happen because the hammer makes whatever you're working with jump straight toward you. I can't figure out a better way to explain it. Y'all will see what I'm talking about in short order, I'm sure. Let me close the gate here. Now you have to be a little careful when you're messing with this. You can see that the water flow is kicking me around all the hell over the place. Whoops. Shit. That was unfortunate. That could have been much more unfortunate. Okay, I gotta do something about that water flow. How am I gonna work that? Well, let me see. If I put a fence here, and I take out the gate, then the water can't flow there, I don't think. Let's see what happens with that. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that when you're hammering on this, you got to be careful because you don't want to break that. That's a problem. Maybe if I put the fence there, how would that work? Can I do that? Well, let's see what it does. Yeah, that works great. And then I can stand in the middle of it, which I cannot do if I have the fence there. So use a gate. Gate works much better. Anyway, what I was saying is there's a brief period here when you might accidentally knock out that piece of clay there, or maybe one of the pieces of clay behind the fallen lava. And if that happens, you've got a problem, because now the lava's going to fall straight down into the sky, and it's not going to be going sideways and making the cobble here. So you want to be careful about that, particularly if you're using a fast pickaxe, which I do not recommend, or particularly if you are using a faster hammer, which I also do not recommend. So this is nice because since it's effectively 2 cobble generators in one, even though we only use 1 bucket of water and 1 bucket of lava. And as you can see, we are getting quite a lot of gravel. And once I've got a stack of gravel here, I'm going to initiate you into one more mystery of skyblocking. And then I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to kind of hang things up for a bit and come back once I've got some stuff done so that you can see the result. But first I want you to see this is what happens when you run gravel through your sieve. You start getting different things than you did if you ran earth through the sieve. Earth gives you seeds occasionally, as we noticed, and it gives you the stone that you use to make cobble. But after I've been sieving this for a little bit, let's look at my inventory. I have some coal, I have broken lead ore, and I have broken copper ore. And now you know how we're going to get metal in this situation. So I let this run a little while, and eventually I'll have more than one of each of these things. You can take 4 of them, you can put them into a block, and I'll illustrate that when we come back in a few minutes. So I'll talk to you shortly. Alright folks, we went through and sieved an entire stack of gravel. Let's have a look at what the inventory looks like. We got 2 broken gold ore, 7 coal, 7 broken lead, 7 copper ore, 5 lapis, 4 apatite, 3 broken nickel, 4 broken tin, 10 broken iron, 2 diamonds, 4 broken aluminum, a broken silver, 3 emeralds, 16 flint, and a broken platinum ore. Is that everything? That's everything. Now the things we got more than 3 of, except for apatite, we can go ahead and combine those into blocks. And that's iron ore gravel. And this is going to be tin ore gravel. And this is going to be aluminum ore gravel. And copper. And I don't really have room for another one, so for the moment we're going to leave the lead ore as it is. Actually, let me just real quick put the coal away. And where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so that's our lead ore. Now you notice these are all gravel. So what I'm going to do is put them down in the world. And we take our hammer and we mash them up. And what does this get it? This gets us crushed copper ore, and so on and so forth. Now what's interesting is, in some cases we got a bonus. We broke up 1 block of tin gravel and we got 5 crushed tin ore. We broke up 2 iron gravel and we got a bonus of 2 iron crushed iron ore. So if we save these, we'll eventually be able to make more of them. Because, for example, I'm going to put up these others actually real quick to make a little bit of space. All the things that we do not have enough of to turn into blocks just now. Okay, now in the copper we only got 4, so that lets us make just what we had before. 1 block of copper, now it's sand. The iron, we got 2 extra now. So we still only have 2 blocks of iron, but if we're that lucky again, we'll have another block come out of it. We got a little bonus tin, and we got a little bonus aluminum, and we got a little bonus lead. Okay, so now we've got the sand version of these puppies. And what, you may wonder, is this all going to end up being used for? Well, one more step takes us down to dust. And we only got 4 aluminum dust. We only got 8 iron dust, no improvement there. We got 5 lead dust. We're going to save that spare one, and in future we may have another one to add it to. So you can see how over time all these little extra bits add up. And that's why it's often useful to start with gravel when you're going to try to get ore. Now, there are reasons to sift sand and there are reasons to sift dust, and we'll get into that. But for now, we've got the beginnings. Now, we can go ahead and put this into our furnace, but that would be really wasting it. What we want to do is put this into our smelter, because in our smelter this ore will get doubled. So for the time being, yep, see, look at that. We have 2 extra iron that we didn't have before. For the time being, I'm going to put all these away. Eventually they're going to have their own chest of little leftover items. In fact, eventually is going to be real soon right now. Where's a good spot? Let's put you over here. And start the lapis down there. Oh, I forgot the copper. Okay. Well, let's just get all this stuff the heck out of there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is start at the top with the broken ore. And beneath it I'm going to put the crushed ore. And if I was being fussy, I would make neat little rows, but I'm not feeling that fussy. And we only got one extra at the powdered level, I think. Let me see. Nope, we got some powdered lead ore also. Okay. And diamonds. Let's not leave the diamonds in there. So there's our emeralds. There's our diamonds and apatite. There's our powdered lead ore. We got some coal. And we got some flint. And this is the kind of thing you're going to get when you start off by breaking gravel. Now, if you start out by breaking sand, you're going to get different byproducts. Same thing if you start out by breaking dust. Now, you may notice I have 2 stacks of gravel. I took some time and made more. And what we're going to do real quick is we're going to put them down. Do I have room? 1, 2, 3. Oh, just barely. Wow. I'm not sure I like that. Anyway, we're going to take our hammer and we're going to break this into sand. And the reason we're going to break this into sand is it's time we started making us some grout. Now this is actually my 3rd hammer because of how much I did earlier with it. But we now have half a stack of gravel and we have half a stack of sand. And I'm going to just stick to that for the moment because I'm just going to demo something and then we're going to close this up. What we're going to do is take a block of clay and we're going to take 4 gravel and we're going to take 4 sand. And that's going to get us 8 grout. And for those of you familiar with Tinker's Construct, you know what's coming next. For those of you that this is something new, we're going to be making our first multi-block structure. Yep, we're going to be getting our potatoes. But we're going to be making our first multi-block structure using this grout. And we're going to be turning this grout into seared bricks. Like so. And we're going to build a lot of different things with those seared bricks, and we're going to assemble those things into one multi-block structure called a smeltery. And the reason we're going to do that is all these dusts, if you put them in the smeltery, they get doubled. So that'll help us out a whole heap for getting ore up here in the sky where we really don't have ore. So I want to thank y'all for stopping by once again. Like it if you like it. Download it if you feel you gotta. I won't cry. But whatever you do, I'd appreciate it if you drop me a line. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. And, you know, hey, let me know how I'm doing. Y'all have fun now. Take care.